Hey guys, today we're going to unload what my thoughts are for the 2023, the 2024 homeschool school year, and just some curriculum thoughts that I have. So if you're interested in this brain dump, stick around. Okay, so just so you guys know, I have a baby down here. I'm a mom of 3-month-old twins, and I have Samari down here. So she's giggly, but she's trying to go to sleep. And then Samara is right there on the bed, so he may wake up any moment. But hi, my name is Shardae. I am a homeschool mom of 5 to 5 beautiful children. I have an 8-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old son, a 3-year-old son, and 3-month-old twins who are boys and girls. And we've been homeschooling on and off for 5 years, and we've been more consistent. Like, this is 2 years straight. So I guess 3 years on and off, and then 2 years like full force. My oldest, she actually went to public school, and we pulled her in the middle of her first grade year. Her first kindergarten was virtually at home because of the pandemic, and she was in a language academy. So with that being said, I think that it's important to talk about my educational history and my husband's educational history before we start talking about our kids, because that kind of drives our goals for our kids, right? So the first thing that I think about when we're choosing curriculum is, what is the end goal, right? So I know in homeschool, people don't really, like, oh, grades don't matter, like what grade your child is in or whatever. But for us, it does, because when our children reach high school, they have the ability to take 2 online courses at our local public school. Well, in our county, they'll be home, but they'll take 2 online courses, and then they'll be able to take the rest of the courses at home. So I feel like that's a good relief, because that's something that I worry about. Like, my degree is in math. So I feel very confident in math, but like literature and things of that nature, I do say I feel a little insecure about that. So when they get to high school, they're going to need, someone to teach them that's more qualified. And I'm not saying that I won't get qualified, because I do have a master's and I'm working on another master's, and, like, probably getting my PhD. So it's not like I can't do it. And by that age, they're more self-sufficient. But I just thought that it would be good for them to take 2 courses with the county, and then we'll just do the rest at home. And then when they turn 16, when they get in the 11th grade, they can take college courses. So to me, it's important to keep them at grade level, because when they get into the 9th grade, 2 classes will be taken with our public school system. And listen, people pay, BJU Press, people pay Abeka. So I feel as though this is no different, except it's just in the public school system. I get to pick which class it is. And I'm not concerned about, them being exposed to something they're not supposed to be exposed to, because, listen, I've had 8 years with them, and we know within not 8 years, but like kindergarten through, 8th grade, or pre-K through 8th grade, or birth to 8th grade, they know our standard. So I think it would be good for them to see other things other than, what mom and dad is presenting to them, and also be exposed to other things and be able to cast them down. I believe in that. I don't believe that, they're going to go through life without having any encounters with worldly things, especially when, their goal, I hope their goal is college, but, who's to say, but we're going to raise them to have the mind of Christ, and they're not going to be exposed to, I just believe that they're not going to be exposed to anything that's crazy, and then some of the curriculum that I'm using anyway is secular. So there you have it. And we'll just pray about the teacher that they get. But I think it is like an online class anyway, so I think the stuff is like pre-recorded. So my goal, I'm already thinking like, okay, when they have to do biology, because that's a class with a lab, why not do it that way? And also probably language arts, and then we'll do history and math together, and then their electives. But yeah, so anyway, our goal is ninth grade, have them take 2 classes with the county if we're still living in this state, for free, and we'll teach the rest. So that's why grades matter in our, what grade they're in matters in our homeschool. Okay, now, with that being said, our previous curriculum, I bought it. It was a lot of hype, and I'm thankful for it because I was in a season of my life where I would not have been able to provide for my children what it provided, right? But now that I see the curriculum for what it is and know my abilities, and I'm not pregnant anymore, I feel as though I have a good, how should I say this? I've had a good time to where, okay, to figure out my bearings. There we go. I've had a good time figuring out my bearings. I had enough time to figure out my bearings. And yeah, you want to figure out your bearings too, huh? I've had enough time to figure out my bearings. And with that being said, we're not going to go with our language arts curriculum that we have. And I'm just going to create our own. And the thing about it is language arts consists of spelling, writing, vocabulary, grammar, literature. I can do all that, right? But I'm looking for tried and true curriculum that I don't have to switch out every year for my kids. So right now I'm looking for easy grammar, for grammar, and it doesn't seem like it's too expensive. And my desire is to use that for the other kids. And I know, like, okay, grammar, I hated grammar when I was in like 6th and 7th grade, right? But we're home and we can make it fun. And if it's something that, let's say Jessla does great with it, but Donovan's not particularly good with just like reading it from black and white book, there are things that you can do to make it fun, like going outside, using chalk. I don't know, just I can Pinterest some things to make a worksheet fun. And I'm looking forward to that because I don't want to keep switching curriculums. I want something that has stood the test of time. So when I'm looking at curriculum reviews, I will go and, in the channel and see like, okay, did this person use this before? Is this their first time and only time and last time using this? And I'll even send them a message like, hey, do you still use this every once in a while? Or I'll say like, hey, can we get an update of how how you're doing with this curriculum, because that matters to me. Okay, so then with phonics, because she is in the 2nd grade, going to the 3rd, I'm looking at from phonics to reading or all about reading. I know all about reading has been around and that has stood the test of time. And then also phonics from phonics to reading has gotten a bunch of awards and is used in a lot of places. So I'm not sure. I know all about reading. There's no consumables, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have all about reading, but from what I've been gathering, there's no consumables. So it is built to be used for your other children. So I'm looking into that. I think all about reading is like 160, and from phonics to reading this is brand new, the whole package. Phonics to reading is 90. So there is a cost difference there. And so with all about reading, I wouldn't have to buy it again, but from phonics to reading, I would have to buy the student book again every year. And that's about $30 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so with writing, I'm looking at Writing with Ease. That's the only one I'm actually looking at, to be honest. I know that, she's still in the phonics age. So I don't want to put too much on her, but From Phonics to Reading is cost effective. And Writing with Ease is cost effective and has been used throughout the test of time as well. And also, again, when I'm looking at reviews, I do go on YouTube and see what other moms are using, and a lot of them have stuck with it and continue with it on into middle school and high school. So we have phonics, writing. Oh, okay, so handwriting. I'm looking at the Good and the Beautiful handwriting because I've already ordered it, and it's I don't think it's on its way yet. No, it is on its way. I've already ordered it and we have it. I'm thinking about sticking with it because I like the fact she's only so I ordered level 2, but for when she gets into 3rd grade, she'll start cursive. And I like the idea of having the rainbow, like, following the strokes with the order of the rainbow. I know another popular one is Writing Without Tears, but that one looks like it's black and white. So she's very like artistic and likes color and all of those things. I don't know if the whole rainbow thing would work with Donovan or not. But for me, handwriting is something that I am pretty hands off with. I just tell them, like, today you're doing this page. Well, they even know, like, it's on that page when they come downstairs. So I don't want it to really be like a conversation, like, just this is what you do. So if it's already something that's set up, you're following these strokes with these things, they'll get used to that, and I can be a little bit more hands off, and I'll be freed up to work with the other children. So we have handwriting, we have phonics, we have writing, we have grammar, spelling. So I'm looking into 180 days of spelling with word study. I decided not to. So on Rainbow Resources, it's $17, and on Amazon, it's $13. So I ordered it off of Amazon. I decided not to do vocabulary because I'm getting that book, and those can turn into vocabulary words. But I also want to really focus on phonics. There's like, if I'm not mistaken, 60 phonics or 40 phonics rules or something. So I don't want to overload her with too much. And then once we're done with phonics, which is like the 4th grade, I'll pick up with more of a vocabulary curriculum. Another thing that I was kind of worried about was I wonder if I overdid it with the whole handwriting thing, because if we do From Phonics to Reading, there is some handwriting there, and then also Writing with Ease every other day, there's handwriting. And then the Easy Grammar, it didn't look like there was like a lot of handwriting. There was like maybe some correction, but there is going to be some handwriting. So I'm not sure if I overdid it with handwriting or not. And then, so for science, I found from a thrift store on Amazon, what is it, Harcourt? I think it's Harcourt. I'm not sure, but it's like old textbook. Not science. I said science. Art. With art, I got an old textbook, and then we're going to just continue with our 52 art labs for kids. And then for history/social studies, we're going to continue with Amazing Africa. We have 16. Sorry. We have about 16 more weeks of that, and so we're going to continue with that. And then I'm still thinking about that, but I'm thinking about I want it to be literature based. I do know that. And then I also got 180 days of geography, because I just think it's important for them to be able to read maps, know our states, cities, and things of that nature. I also got a Harcourt health and fitness book for 2nd grade and 3rd grade. And then I got 180 days of social emotional skills. I did that because one, hardcore, they're only like $5 or less. Like I think I got one for like $2.50. And it does cover some social emotional things in the book, but also I just think that it's important to like have social skills. Like, you know, if you see someone crying, it's probably not a good idea to go ask for a popsicle, you know? Just things of that nature, like being kind, being a friend. I think that that's a good thing. All right, so we've covered language arts. With math, my goal is to go with apology and math. I'm not really looking into another math for my daughter. I will say for my son, okay, well, we'll just stick with Jessela for right now, the one going into 3rd grade, and then we'll go kid by kid. Okay, so then for science, and this would be for both of them, we're looking into the Apologia Science astrology unit, and in Rainbow Resources, they have a whole kit for the lessons and for the experiments and things. So that's going to be pretty fun. I wanted to do something where it was going to be going to have experiments because next year Donovan will be in kindergarten, and I have, you know, he's in pre-K right now. I don't have the expectation that he's gonna, you know, stick around for everything, but I do get a little bit more serious about his schoolwork, and he'll join along. So I'm gonna get the junior thing for him, the junior notebook for him and her, and they'll be able to do some science experiments together. Then music, we still using Hoffman Academy, and I think that's it. We're still probably gonna do like Enrichment Friday, Fun Friday, Enrichment Friday, where we're gonna cook, do like kind of what they would do in school specials, and that's it. So for Donovan, so for him, he's in pre-K right now. We have the Good and the Beautiful pre-K for him and the Book of Doodles. And then also like a little stamp book with letters and a cut and paste book. That's all we have for him right now. So for next year, when he gets to kindergarten, again, we're going to need to focus on phonics. We're going to need to focus on, I won't be buying him a spelling curriculum. So whatever phonics curriculum I choose for Jessela will probably be what I choose for him, unless I'm noticing that he's like some type of different learner. And that's why I was saying like All About Reading is about $160 and I don't have to buy anything ever again. But if I go with From Phonics to Reading, I'll have to buy the level K, which is $90, and then the student book comes with it. But then when Benjamin starts, I'll have to buy the student book again, so which is about $30. So we're still trying to decide on Phonics to Reading or All About Reading. And then for math, Apologia doesn't have a kindergarten math, so I was thinking of doing Saxon Math level K, or The Good and the Beautiful level K. So those are the two options that I'm looking at. If I can get because Saxon Math level K doesn't even have a student book. So if I can get the teacher book on like maybe Facebook Marketplace or something, or thrift books or something, I'll probably do that if I can get it pretty cheap. That way we'll have it for Benjamin and things of that nature. I wouldn't have to buy a new student book. See? You see where I'm going here? Things that don't really require repurchasing with a lot of consumables. Okay. So then for him, we have art. And then we'll still do the 52 art labs with him. And I'm not sure if I'll just keep him with the same grade level as Jessela, or actually, open up the kindergarten art book and, do that. But I did purchase that one already. And that was from Harcourt, $3, thrift store, online. The 52 Art Labs for Kids, that book actually, I got that from our local library. So I keep it for, is it 8 weeks, and then after check back in and I can pull it back out. And then after we finish that book, I have another one in mind. So I'm not even buying art books. The thing that we would really have to buy is just the canvas and the charcoal and the materials to go with that course. It's been pretty fun so far. So phonics for him, but then I'm not going to worry about vocabulary. Handwriting, I have that book already from Look Good and Beautiful, the Level K handwriting book. So phonics, handwriting. I'm not going to focus on... Did you? She just threw up on me. Sorry, ma'am. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to focus on writing composition with him because I feel like the phonics rules and then trying to do where's the comma go, where's the period go, too much. I think maybe towards the end of kindergarten we might get to the point where we're okay, first sentence starts with a capital letter, ends with a period, that type of thing. But I'm not going to focus on, grammar and writing composition and all of that. So we have handwriting. We have handwriting, we have phonics, we have writing composition, vocabulary, and grammar. So yeah, so with him, the main focus is going to be handwriting and phonics for language arts. Then we have art, we have health and fitness. I already bought a Harcourt book for that for him, and then the social, I probably will pick up the social emotional skills book for kindergartners. And then for history, he'll tag along with us for Amazing Africa. And I'll just add the geography, Level K, 180 days of geography. I'm deciding. I don't think I'm going to do it. But I'm thinking about getting the 180 days of spelling and word study. It depends on what's going on with phonics. So I'm not going to I'm not going to purchase that until the school year starts, just to see how things are going. I don't want to put too much on him, but also I don't want to, something that I'm not going to be able to sit with him and do, right? So I don't know how teacher intensive that will be for me. So I probably I'm going to wait to see how our school year starts with him before I add on the 180 days of spelling and word study. Okay. So then, we talked about math, which was either Saxon, Level K, or The Good and the Beautiful. And then science, he'll join with me and Jessla with Apologia, Astrology. All right, now, Benjamin. He is 3. He will be turning 4 in February of 2024. So there's really nothing to, get in a tizzy about with him. He's 4. He still should be playing. He still, now he does have a dot workbook with letters. He does have the cutting and pasting 2 books. And he has something else, but I don't make him do any of that. I don't even know if I'm going to purchase the Good and the Beautiful's preschool for him that I had for Donovan. I don't know if I'm going to purchase that. So my main goal for him would just be letter sounds. I'm not even going to trip. And then recognizing numbers. After that, we'll figure it out. I'm not tripping about, what to really do with him. And then I'll know what's successful with him once we do Donovan, which I have a good feeling about everything that we are that we've picked for them, and I'm just really excited. So I have some things in my cart for Rainbow Resource already, just kind of like waiting for the like okay from God and my husband when to pull the trigger. Okay, so some things that I think about when I am thinking about curriculum when I was looking through these is like what is my life like right now? So like right now I have 5 children. My youngest are 3-month-old twins, and next year they're gonna be, I would assume, they're gonna be moving around. So we have that to worry about a little bit. Not to worry about, but to kind of like where we're gonna wrangle them, because they're gonna start moving and getting into things. Because their birthday is in December. So what's going to keep me, able to attend to them, but also tend to the older two. Sometimes Benjamin kind of tags along with Donovan. So I'm not even sure if the things that I purchase for Donovan next year, he's just going to naturally gravitate to. They're 2 years apart. And he is already like gravitating towards the things that he's doing right now too. Also, I observed my children. So I knew that I needed to make a curriculum change because things just were not working out. And with my end goal, like the whole purpose of us homeschooling, right? Like God put it in my heart to teach them how to love him, right? And that's number one. So I also think like what's going to teach them. What are some things that I can give them? What's a foundation, right? That I can give them to be able to study the word, right? Because if you don't know God, how are you going to love him? And the way that you get to know him is to read your word. So read the Bible. And I was thinking, what skills do they need to be able to decode and read the Bible? And for me, I read the Bible in Greek and Hebrew. Like I don't know those languages, so I do read it in English, and then I go back and forth from English to Greek and Hebrew because I enjoy interpreting it for myself, not for what the interpreters, of the different versions have given me. It's helpful, hands down super helpful, because I have a place to start, but I do use the Strong's Concordance and things of that nature. So I need to teach them how to read a sentence. What does the comma mean? What does a semicolon mean? Because there were no commas and all that stuff back then. So that was an interpretation where the commas and exclamation points, semicolons, and all those and lists and things go. So just teaching them also that when we're reading, though, those commas mean something. Those pauses mean something. Those lists mean something. The first thing in the list means something. So I don't know if it's just like the seminary student in me, but as when I read the Bible, I read with the Holy Spirit, and there are things that matter in the Bible. So I'm just trying to teach them how to be good writers, how to read good writing. Oh, and something else that I didn't address was literature. So writing with ease comes with excerpts from other books. So I'm not going to pick our literature books until we start writing with ease. And then if there's something that sparks her interest, then we'll pick that book and we'll do a literature study on that. So what I'll do first is the first book she picks, I'll let her just pick whatever she wants. Then the second book will be an assigned reading from Writing with Ease. The third book will be something that I pick from her, and then we'll just rotate. So the fourth book will be her choice, assigned, my pick. And so the assigned will do literature studies. So I'm thinking maybe 4, maybe 5. We'll see. And there are tons of literature studies that I could pick from, but I just thought, like, why not let that be something that we can change, right? We don't have the autonomy to pick the different curriculum. Well, my choice, my hope, my prayer is that we stick with curriculum that's going to stand the test of time and stand the test of our homeschool work throughout all 5 children. And but we can do this because books I don't like a lot of clutter. I'm not going to buy the books. We're just going to get them from the library. And then I can purchase, a literature study. You can get that from, like the thrift book. I'm good with like the $5 and $2 books. But anyway, this video is getting long. That was my brain dump. I hope I wasn't like going all around in circles. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. And if you have any questions or if you have any advice for me, please let me know. I'm open to that. I haven't pressed the purchase button on Rainbow Resource yet, so there still is time. And if you haven't heard it today, our Heavenly Father loves you deeply and dearly. Don't forget to drink your water and repent. Bye.